John Davidson, our buddy from the Columbus Blue Jackets. You're about 6'2". Am I right about that?
6'4", but I had a couple of back operations, so I shrunk a little.
Okay, so let's say 6'3". We'll saw it up.
He always looks bigger. He always looks bigger because Jeff Rimmer's always standing next to him.
Hey, so I want to go somewhere with this. When you retired, how big were your pads?
Oh, it's kind of embarrassing. You know what? The pad, I still have them actually in a bag somewhere. But you know what? Worse than the pads were the gloves. My nephew was a goaltender in Calgary, and pretty good one in youth hockey. And I showed him a set of the gloves that I used. They were blue and red, the Ranger colors. And he started laughing at them. And I go, what are you, what's, and you know what? They look like golf gloves.
Oh, the old GP21?
They look like, I mean, you really think about it. We're lucky to be alive with what we wore.
So were you 32-inch pads?
No, I can't remember. Probably 34 or 5, someplace in there.
Because the guys I'm hearing a few guys whining right now about the reduction.
Yeah, well, you know what? I understand the idea of protection for sure. I really do. But boy, look at the chest protectors. Look at the pants. Look at the pants they wear, let alone the goal pads themselves. Look at the gloves.
But
you gonna tell me that catching glove has to be that bad? The thing above the thumb is called a cheater.
Mm-hmm.
Does that not say a lot right there? A cheater? Why is that there?
Now it's just part of the glove.
Pieces there. Yeah. Well, why though? Why? Yeah. I don't understand why.
If you were a real GM, you could get into those meetings and discuss those things.
And you're right. I'm not, and I admit it. I'm a hindsight guy, you know.
You're like Kippy. You're the new GM types that takes 3 guys before they get to you. Anyway, so listen, just on that for a minute, Carrie Ramo or whatever.
Ramo, yeah.
When you saw him getting dressed last night, and I don't know if you saw it, the size of his chest protector was just mind-boggling to me. Now, you guys are goalies, JD and Darren Millard, and Morrison's kid's a goalie, so you guys are on top of the goaltending thing, but I couldn't believe the size of it.
Yeah, so I know. I agree with you. I remember when I think it was Brown came out with a chest protector that gave us real serious protection. It really helped us because we get bruised up badly. I can tell you God's truth story. We played the Flyers two nights in a row. I was playing with the Rangers in Philly and then at home. Lost both games 3-1, 4-2, something like that. Had 109 shots total or something like that. So I'm in the locker room and I'm walking through and the doctor stopped me after game 2. He said, I want to see you in my office in the morning. I said, Doc, I'm exhausted. What are you talking about? He says, count them. So we counted bruises on my body. There were 16 big black and blue marks on my legs and arms. And he wanted to see me because he thought maybe I had an issue with bruising, which means it could be a blood issue, which could be serious. I said, Doc, no, this is what we wear. This is what happens. And that's the straight goods, the absolute truth. And then you look at what they wear today. I mean, there's no fear of being injured because of what they wear for protection.
But that's bizarre because my first 2 years in the league, Greg Millen was our goalie in St. Louis, and I used to walk by him, and he thought I was kind of weird, but I was checking to see if he ever had a bruise. The puck, I don't think, ever hit him. He never had a bruise in his whole career, I don't think.
So, John...
like Don Terry talking about Hardy Astrum.
Yeah, no kidding. He's the Canadian version. So, John...
Millsy's a good man. Millsy's a good man.
He is indeed.
He's
John, your club had the strong finish last year, came up just a little bit short, but had the strong finish. How has that impacted the club from an expectation standpoint going into this year and maybe even from a business standpoint?
Well, business standpoint, it's been very good, and Doug knows Columbus as well as anybody. But we needed to do something to win back the faith of the fan, and it seems to. We're up 2,000, 2,500 season tickets, something like that. They're sold out for tonight, which they should be. There's a lot going on in town here with the President's Cup and stuff. But as far as the hockey club goes, I think going into the season, there's expectations that were a lot higher than a year ago, and the players feel good about it. They've earned that, and there's a sense of purpose here. Last year, when the season started, who knew what was going to happen? There was a lot of question marks all over the place, and we had a little bit of a culture change, made some changes, and Bob, the goaltender, settled things down. And now you look at our club, and we're going to have a couple of young guys start, and that's Boone Jenner and Ryan Murray. We're very young. Our oldest player is 31, and Derek McKenzie. But our young players, aside from those two I mentioned, they're all growing up. I mean, you take a kid like Johansson, he's just a young kid, but you see the body change over the summer. You see the mentality change when you talk to him. He's maturing. Cam Atkinson, a young and a smaller player, but lightning fast. He played all last year with a high ankle sprain, and that's healthy, so he should be better. So I think, we're going to be in tough, just like a lot of other teams are, but I know we're going to compete. We have to keep our identity, which was keeping the puck out of the net, and work habits. And if we have that, Gabrick plays the way he should, our young players keep maturing, and we get Horton back sometime in December, we should be a better team than what we finished.
Hockey Central at noon, chatting with the de facto general manager. No, he's the president of Hockey Ops, John Davidson from the Columbus Blue Jackets, Darren Millard, and Doug McLean, and Scott Morrison.
Boone Jenner, local kid, Dorchester, Ontario, I believe. 30 people, by the way, making the trek to Columbus to watch him in his first NHL game, I believe. And just tell us a little bit of quality character kid that's on your first line, which is, rumblings he may start in Springfield, but he makes your team and starts the season on the first line with Dubinsky and Gabrick.
Yeah, he's that line had chemistry when they were first put together, so they're going to keep them together. He's a great kid, quiet, minds his business. When you ask him questions, it's a thoughtful answer. For a young player, he's already got a man's body. He's physically strong, so we have no fear with that. He's able to F1 and be the first forechecker in and win pucks off strong defensemen. That's how strong the guy is. Very responsible defensively. Is a kid that has really over the last year improved his skating. I think, Doug, what happened was last year when his team lost out in the junior playoffs, we put him right into Springfield, and he became our best player there in the playoffs. And that really, I think, gave him a shot of adrenaline, and he can play and confidence. And the coaches really respected his ability to play the game where he's a responsible player on the ice. He can play wing, he can play center. He's very good on face-offs. We'll watch, monitor, because, when the season starts, and watching all the games last night, it is so fast. This game has gotten faster with each season, and so when the season starts for us, it goes up another notch. So we'll see how he plays and how it goes, but I really admired the quality that he brings to the game, and he's very well respected for the way he plays by his teammates.
When we chatted with Nathan Horton on July 5th, after he made the decision to sign with the Columbus Blue Jackets, he just kept talking about how he just wanted a backyard.
A big backyard.
So have you been over to the house to tell, and can you tell us, how's the backyard?
I heard 7 acres or something. So
JD can't get invited there because Rimmer's always there. Seriously.
There's no question.
He's his agent.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's quite a group. But Nathan's really fit in. He's loved it. He's been at the rink every day working out, and he's really fit in with the group, even though he's not playing. And he's it's all been a good fit for him. His family, his kids, his quality of life, where he's fitting in with our teammates, and I hardly wait to get him back. But we're not going to rush it. His rehab's doing very well. I won't say it's ahead or behind schedule because you always hear that stuff. But he's doing well. We expect him sometime in December. So we'll see how that goes and just try to stay in the race. And hopefully he's going to be a part of it when we get better.
How big is the move to the East, John?
It's interesting, Scotty. It's interesting. It's not going to be easy. It'll certainly. I was talking to somebody with the Rangers yesterday, and they were talking about having their camp out in Banff and then playing out west, and then their exhibition games, and going back to New York for a couple of days, and heading to Phoenix for their home opener last night. And he's saying, "Well, I don't even know what time zone I'm in." Blah blah blah. And I guess when you think of Alain Vigneault there, he's going, "Hey, listen, boys, this is the real world when you live in the West." And for Columbus, that was the real world. And you get home at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. If you play in the East, you get home at 12:30 at night. So you're able to practice the next day. The players' bodies aren't, getting battered all the time. For the fan to be able to watch TV or listen on the radio to the games, it gives them a chance to do it with it instead of staying up halfway through the night when the club's on the road. So I think it's going to be very, very beneficial business-wise. hopefully hockey-wise. I know it's not going to be easy. There's more teams. They're good teams. It's going to be a real tough battle, but that's what we're into this business for. So I think for us, it's for Columbus, it just makes sense. You're in the Eastern time zone. You should be in the Eastern Conference.
Well, we sure hope that you survive the change in your radio broadcast, too.
Right.
Good
And
point.
With the,
Good point.
yeah, George is gone.
George Matthews is
George is a good man.
Devastating.
George,
Listen,
George had a real nice night here when they honored him, and he's with the junior team out there, from what I understand, doing quite well. But
he had a bigger night than John. He had a bigger night than Gordie Howe had in Detroit when he retired.
I remember that night where you were out there with George.
Give my best to my.
I tell you what, George is a blast.
Oh, he's terrific.
Absolute blast. Talk about a nice man. Loves hockey.
Oh, yeah, he's a fun guy.
Tells stories. Great to get out on the road with and have a
I co-emceed something with him this summer, and he's prepared.
Oh, no, he's prepared.
Boy.
Terrific guy.
And enjoy Jack Nicklaus tonight, dropping the puck.
Yes, Jack's there. He hasn't been to a game since he went to the Panthers game in '96, I read the other day.
Doug, here's a true story about that. I saw him interviewed there, and he mentioned that when you had the team and you guys with the Rats. And I met him that night.
And
the bowels underneath the arena.
Really?
I was walking underneath because I
Right.
was working for Fox. He walked by me, and I stopped him and shook hands. We were the only two guys in the hallway. And so he's going to see a second game, and I'll be able to say hello to him again.
And you know what's really interesting about it? He watched one hockey game, and he was telling Huizinga what was wrong with our team.